In today's video, I'll be going over a complete Shopify print-on-demand tutorial and how I use my 7-step system to test, build, and scale my e-commerce business, which you guys will see in just a bit. And the number one reason why I love this business is because there are no inventory. You know, we're not storing the small, medium, large t-shirt in every possible color. Oftentimes when I see a lot of people start a business with very little capital, it's very risky to take in any kind of inventory. And I see this time and time again where people bulk purchase their inventory and then realizing over time they can't get rid of it, whether it's due to low demand for the product or they don't have enough marketing budget for ads. So unless you are a big business like Walmart or you are a mega influencer, I think the print-on-demand business has a lower barrier of entry and much more beginner friendly. So in today's video, I'll be showing you how to build your own e-commerce store step by step, and if you follow along in today's tutorial, you may even be able to launch your store by today. And if you're new to my channel, hey, what's up? My name is Cynthia and I teach everything related to print-on-demand and social media marketing. So if you're interested in learning more, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell notification so you'll be notified every time I upload a video just like this. So welcome to my complete print-on-demand Shopify store training, where I'll go over my 7-step system on how you can master the print-on-demand business all under 60 minutes. Literally the best business in the world. So if you're a complete newbie to the print-on-demand business model, don't worry, because I'll be explaining what it is and how you can get started. So I have my 7-step system all laid out here. So we're going to be going each and every single step individually. So we'll be going over how to pick a profitable niche, how to set up your Shopify store, how to integrate a supplier where they'll print, pack, and ship out your orders so there's nothing for you to do, because again, like I said, with print on demand, there are no inventory. Next one is how to find good designers. A lot of times people think that in order to be in the print on demand business that we need to know how to create designs, and that's 100% not true. I do not know how to create designs. I am not a designer. What I do is I go out and I find people that know how to design, and I purchase those designs from them to put on my t-shirts, my mugs, etc. And then I'm going to be showing you how to actually promote your products through marketing on Facebook. I'm also going to show you how I actually automate my entire business. You know, what's great about creating an e-commerce business is that you can go out and hire other people to run your store from a day-to-day basis. That will give you a lot of time to really focus on growing your business. The last thing I want to talk about is how to diversify your traffic sources, which is what I really do focus a lot, even on my YouTube channel, because, you know, Facebook is my number one traffic source. However, it is not the only game in town. You know, there's so many other social media places where you can drive traffic to your Shopify store. So we're going to be talking a lot about that. Also, everything that you see on the right side are all the resources that you can refer to throughout this training. So, you know, I know a lot of people might be asking me, you know, Cynthia, what is the link? You know, how do I get to XYZ? So everything that you'll actually need will be listed on the right side of the screen. I'll also try to link everything down in the description so you can actually click on it and get to where you need to get to. So all the information I want to provide in this video. Again, I do recommend that you guys follow along in today's training so that you can get your store up and running by today. It may take you a couple of days, but I've seen a lot of people that follow through my training are able to actually launch their store literally in a day. So let's get started. So what exactly is the print-on-demand business model? So basically, you take a design, which I have up here on the screen, which says coffee smells like freshly ground heaven. And then you're going to go ahead and place it on a product. So in this case, a t-shirt. But what I love about the print on demand business is you're not limited to only selling on t-shirts. You can sell on things like mugs, canvas prints, leggings, hoodies, keychains. There's just so many different products, which I'll be showing you a little bit later on. So what I love about the print on demand business is I can literally sell an infinite amount of products without actually owning the inventory, because I'm putting that inventory risk on my supplier. They're the ones that are, you know, having to purchase bulk products and then help us print, pack, and ship out those orders. So for me, and what I love about print on demand is I only focus on the marketing side of things. I only focus on promoting my product, and then once I make a sale, everything is taken care of on the back end and I don't even have to lift a finger. And in my opinion, print on demand is the best business model because number one, you don't own any inventory. You know, that's why I don't really like to do anything that involves Amazon FBA or even private labeling, because I don't want inventory risk. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know I hate inventory. I never want to own inventory, but I always wanted to be in the e-commerce business. So if you harness the print on demand business model, you're able to do that. So another one is you don't need employees. You only need yourself and a laptop, internet connection, and you guys can get started today. You don't need any previous experience because I'll be going over everything on how to set up your store, how you can go out and find a designer, how you can go out and find a supplier. So it's going to be very super easy and simple. Now, the next thing you need is no equipment. So a lot of people are saying, do I need printing equipment? Absolutely not. If we are not holding inventory, we are absolutely not even owning any of the printing equipment because all of that is taken care of by a third-party supplier, which I'll be recommending a few in just a bit. And last but not least, what I love about the print on demand business is it's cash flow positive. What do I mean by cash flow positive? Let me show you very quickly. So say for an example, you sell a t-shirt and I have the Shopify logo here because I'm going to show you how to create a Shopify store. So someone comes to your Shopify store, purchase this t-shirt, and then what happens is you get paid first, right? That money gets dropped into your bank account first. And what happens next is you then pay your supplier. So, they're going to be the one to print, pack, and ship out your orders, but you're going to have that funds ready. So again, all cash flow positive. That's just what I like. So here's an example. Let's just say you sell this t-shirt for $24.99 and it costs them $4.95 for shipping. So in total, you are banking $30 up front. Now that $30 will be deposited into your bank account. So now you have $30. So what happens next is your suppliers will charge you for the product. So they're going to charge you not only for the t-shirt, they're going to charge you for their service as well as the shipping costs. So all of that will come around and about $13. So if you subtract that, you're going to make about $17 profit margin on that. Right now, I want to talk about the number one myth about print on demand and literally the most common concern that I have about this business. So it is you can't make money with print on demand because the profit margins are too low. Well, down here, I actually listed some ways that you can get around that because a lot of people don't like it because, they feel like they can't make a good amount of profit. So what you can do is obviously my number one recommendation is increase your price. If you are charging $10 for the product, why not charge $15 or $20? Okay. If you have a good product, people are willing to pay a premium for it. Another one is increasing your sales volume. So you can do that through ads, and the more people purchase that specific item, the more money you make. Another one is actually bundling your products. So you can, bundle, 5 t-shirts at a discount rate. That way you get to make much more profit in one sale versus just selling one t-shirt. Another way that you can earn more profit in print on demand is actually selling high ticket products. So if you don't like selling like mugs, which are lower ticket products, I recommend looking into things like canvases, leggings, hoodies, backpacks, other bags. These are things that have a higher perceived value, and all of these you can apply it the same way as a t-shirt or a mug, right? We're only putting a design on these products and we can sell it in the same way. The only difference is these are, we can put a higher price tag, therefore you make a higher profit margin. Without further ado, let's hop into the training. So step number one is actually picking a profitable niche. Usually this is the part where people struggle the most to pick a niche that they believe will work or not. So I'll be going over how you can go out and figure out whether or not this is a good niche to get into before you start spending all this money on ads. So preferably, I'd always recommend my students to pick a niche that you are personally interested in. So for example, if you're interested in coffee yourself, you can speak the language of that specific niche. So, if you're, not interested in motorcycles, but you got into motorcycles, it's going to be very hard for you to really come up with good design ideas. So I'm not saying that it's not possible if you pick a niche that you are not personally interested in. I'm just saying it'll be a lot harder and it'll take a lot more research. So a couple of ways that I recommend to test and figure out whether a niche can be profitable is actually going on places like Google Trends or Facebook Audience Insights. From there, you can do a little bit of research about who that specific audience is, because I always recommend to actually know that specific audience before you actually jump in and sell their products. Here's are a couple of things I actually look for. So number one, I look for, is it a passionate audience? If you think about people spending money for a t-shirt, if they're not passionate about a specific niche like coffee, dogs, nurses, golfing, they're never going to purchase that product. So you always want to make sure that the niche that you pick, people have an immense passion, which means if people are passionate about something, they're going to pull out their credit card and purchase it, which is what we want. Now, the next thing we want to do is we need to make sure that we have a big enough audience size. It's great that you pick a niche that some people are interested in, but if only 1,000 people in the whole entire world is interested in that niche, you're going to have a hard time scaling because, you're going to only have 1,000 people. And what if only, 1% of those purchase? You're not going to make a ton of profit. So one of my requirements is it needs to have over 1 million audience size. So I'm going to show you in just a bit how to prove that. Now, the next one I like to look at, is there a healthy amount of competition? So a lot of times people are saying, Cynthia, I don't want to get into this niche because it's too competitive. Well, my thing is, I like competition. Competition just means that someone else tested this niche before you and have success. That is a great indicator that is potentially a profitable niche for you as well. So right now I'm going to jump on over to Facebook Audience Insights and kind of show you how I do my research on a specific niche. So right now I am on the Facebook Audience Insights, and if you look on the sidebar, go down to the one that says interest, and you want to go ahead and enter in your niche in this box. So for example, if I want to be in the coffee niche and I want to do research on it, whether or not it can be profitable, I want to go ahead and enter that in. Now Facebook will give you some data based on this specific keyword that you put in. So they're telling you that with coffee, there are 70 to 80 million people that are interested in coffee. That's a huge amount of audience. So number one thing I know about it is that my products are going to be scalable once I find a winning one. Number two, it is over 1 million people, which is one of my criterias for determining whether or not a niche can be profitable. So anything over 1 million is a go for me. Now, I love Facebook because they give you a ton more data on your audience. So they're telling me about 67% of women are more interested in coffee, and only about 33% men are interested. They also give you a nice age range based on who are most likely to like coffee. So as you can see, the more popular ones I would say will be here. So like people from ages 25 to 54. Now, a lot of people might be asking me, well, Cynthia, why is knowing this information important? Well, in just a bit, more towards the end of this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to run ads on Facebook. Another thing that I like to do is check whether or not my niche has a healthy amount of competition. So a tool that I like to use is called Merch Informer, and this is a paid tool, but I love using this tool because it gives me so much information about my niche and things like that. So we'll be actually using this throughout this training. So if we come under product search, we can actually type in our niche over here, and then once you click on it, go ahead and click search, and what they will do is they're going to pull data from Amazon, and they're going to show you different types of t-shirts that's already out there. So if we look at the first one over here, this one is it says Messy Bun Coffee Run, and they just have, this t-shirt is basically geared towards two niches. So people who are in the mom niche and also people in the coffee niche. A lot of times when you are in a specific niche, don't feel like you're locked into just coffee. You can diversify and branch out to moms and coffee types of design. But, another great strategy is you don't have to do moms. You can do coffee and dads, coffee and grandma, coffee and dogs, etc., etc. So, there's so many different ways that you can actually approach this. So another thing what I like to do is when I go through this is I look at the amount of reviews this has. So as you can see, this one has over 600 ratings. You can come down here and let's find another one. This one is obviously people that love owls and people that love coffee. So they have different owls here in different moods with coffee. So this is also a great angle to go with. Again, you don't actually have to go with moms and coffee. You can branch out and do owls and coffee. This one has 38 ratings, which is a good sign. Let's keep on going. There's one for coffee and St. Patrick's Day. You can do coffee and Valentine's Day, coffee and Halloween, coffee and Christmas. You see where I'm going with this. There's so many different angles you can take with print on demand. I'm going to keep on scrolling. There's a lot of good ones. Here's another one. This one is dogs and coffee. This one is just purely coffee design, which is really nice. So you can come down here and see, are there other people creating this design and are they having success? So here's another one. This one seems to be just about coffee. It just says life is good after coffee. And this one's this has about 29 ratings, which is really good. So from what I'm seeing from Merch Informer, there's a healthy amount of competition, meaning people are actually purchasing these products and also leaving reviews. That's a good sign that this can potentially be a profitable niche. Quickly, if you guys want a full tutorial on how to use Merch Informer, just go under videos on my YouTube channel and then scroll all the way down until you see Merch Informer complete review. I actually go over everything on how to use Merch Informer. This is honestly a must-have tool if you're going to be in the print-on-demand business. So I highly recommend that you check out my complete tutorial after you finish watching this video. So after you have selected the niche that you want to go with, let's move on to step number 2, which is to set up your own Shopify store. Now I'll be going over how you can create your logo, how you can go out, find a banner, how to get a custom domain, so like www.yourdomain.com. And here's the number 1 recommended theme that I'll be going over. And also I'll be using Shopify. So whenever you sign up with Shopify, you'll get a free 14-day free trial. Just go to shopify.teebootcamp.com. Now I am on Shopify. You can go to shopify.teebootcamp.com and then go ahead and click on this green button that says start free trial. Now, once you click on it, you can claim your free 14-day free trial. Just enter in your email, password, and your store name. Now, keep in mind for the store name, it has to be something that's unique and no one has selected yet. So if someone picked your store name, you'll have to find something that's different. So for an example, if I want something like coffee t-shirt, let's just see if anyone, so they're going to give you a error message that says someone already exists. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to say apparel. Let's just hope this one's available. So there's no message. That means this one's available. So go ahead and enter all your information in and then click create your store. Once you've created your Shopify store, you're going to be brought to the dashboard. This is how your Shopify backend will look like every time you log in. This is the part where you get to manage all your orders, look at your analytics, manage all the different apps, and create the look and feel of your entire website. So you can really manage everything from your dashboard. So the first thing that we're going to actually do is we're going to actually click on online store, and we're going to go ahead and customize how we want our store to look like in terms of the logo, the banner, the buttons, the colors, and things like that. And once you get on this page, go ahead and click customize. Get on this page, we can go ahead and actually customize our logo, our banner, and basically the look and feel of our entire store. So the first thing I actually want to go over is how to create a logo. So here are 2 websites that I actually recommend to go out and get your logo. The first one is called Fiverr, and I like this website because you can go out and find designers who are offering this service. So what I recommend is actually looking through their entire portfolio. Everyone have different design aesthetics, and make sure that you find the one that actually fits your specific niche. They all have different price points, so make sure that you do find one that actually fits your budget. So you can scroll through here and kind of look for the right designer. Go ahead and contact them. Tell them, what you want in your logo in terms of the color, the overall feel. Do you want it to be modern? Do you want it to be simplistic? Things like that. Now, another website that you can go on is called Placeit. I love this website because you can go ahead and actually create your own logo. So if you come up over here, you can go ahead and click on logos. And once you click on it, you want to click on Logo Maker. So this one, when you come on here, you can actually type in your name and you can go through these steps and they're going to generate you a few different designs that you can actually pick from. So, say for an example, I want it to be coffee apparel. I'm just going to go ahead and click next, and I can pick an industry. So it's a clothing brand. I'm just going to go ahead and click let's go. So after that, Placeit will generate you a few different logo designs that you can actually select from. So just find the one that you like. Another thing what you can do is come up over here and actually choose your own graphic. So if you're in the coffee niche, you can come up here and I'm going to go ahead and type in coffee and see what they give me. You can actually find a icon that you like, and Placeit will automatically integrate this specific icon into your logo. So I'm actually going to pick one. Let's just pick this coffee mug over here. You can browse through and find the one that you like, but the one that really caught my eye is this one up here. I really like the look and feel of this, so I can go ahead and click on it. So after you click on it, Placeit gives you the option to switch out the different color schemes if you prefer a different color. You can actually change out the different fonts if you want to. You can change out the text. So over here, I can just type in, www.coffee-apparel.com. And it'll appear down here. You can make it bigger or smaller. So if you want to make it bigger, you can actually drag it just like that. There's another little icon down here, which you can also make it a little bit bigger. Maybe if you want to put it up here, you can do that as well, or you can delete it however you want. Also with the logo, I don't necessarily recommend doing the background since you don't want the pink box to appear when you upload it onto Shopify. So make sure for the background you go to transparent, so therefore you're only going to get the logo itself, because it's going to look very weird when you have the logo and a square background. If you don't know what I mean, I'll show you in just a bit. So once you like how this looks like, you can actually go ahead and download it. We're going to come on back on over to our Shopify store. We're going to go ahead and click on header. And then over here, this is the part we get to upload the image of our logo. So I'm going to go ahead and click select image. Uploaded my logo. I'm just going to go ahead and click select. Now once I select it, as you can see, the logo looks very small. You can barely see it. So another thing what you can do is come down over here, go to custom logo width, and you can actually adjust it. So I'm actually going to make it a little bit bigger so I can actually see a little bit better. So that looks pretty good. After you are done, go ahead and click save. Common question that I always get is, how do I actually go out to find the banner image for my Shopify store? So what you can do is you can actually go to Pixabay or Pixels and actually find a photo from there. It's 100% free to get. Another thing is, if you don't want to go through that hassle, you can go with Shopify. And if you click on the first block over here, which says image with text, once you go ahead and click on it, go ahead and click explore free images. And then you want to go ahead and search for, any image that you want. So I'm going to type in coffee, and they're going to give you all of these options that you can use for your banner. So, if you can't find one here, I recommend going on, again, Pixels or Pixabay, or just selecting this one here. So just find one that you want to go with. I'm actually going to select this one over here. So as you can see, once I click on it, they're going to give me a preview on how it looks like. So if this is the one that you want, just go ahead and click select. And then once you select it, you can actually add in the text like this over here. But in this case, since I actually want to just showcase the banner, I'm just going to go ahead and delete the text so you can see it. So very quickly, I want to show you our store, how it looks like after we've uploaded our logo and banner. It looks super professional. Just a few minutes ago, this was super empty, but now we have a very professional store that's ready to launch. Obviously, right now we don't have any products, which we'll be going over on how to create and upload them onto your Shopify store. Now, the next thing I actually want to talk about is actually how to get a custom domain. If we come back on over to the dashboard and you go under online store and then click on domains, as you can see with Shopify, they're going to give you a very generic one, which just says coffeeapparel.myshopify.com. Now, word of caution, I never recommend to go live with this generic domain. I always want people to go out and get a custom domain. Now, Shopify give you the option to purchase a domain through the Shopify platform, but I don't recommend it because it's actually going to be very expensive if you do it here. So I do recommend going on Namecheap shop.teebootcamp.com. This is the website that I actually use to purchase all of my domains. This is the cheapest one I actually found out of all the ones that I use. Highly recommend Namecheap. I only purchased my domains through Namecheap. If you purchase your domain from Namecheap, just go ahead and click connect existing domain, and Shopify will literally take you step by step on how to connect it. It literally takes a few minutes. That I want to talk about before we move on to step number 3 is actually the theme. So whenever you sign up with Shopify, they're going to give you a free theme that you can actually use. Now, the one that we're using is called the debut theme, which is absolutely fine if you want to launch with that. But they also give you a few other free themes that you can look over. So obviously, if you want something different, you can select it from there. Now, this is 100% optional, but for all of my Shopify stores, I always go out and I purchase a custom theme, mainly because I don't like the layout of the Shopify theme. So the one I actually recommend is called the conversion theme. Just go to conversion.teebootcamp.com and you'll see my entire review of this theme. Now, what I like about it is that it's designed first for e-commerce stores. So if you look down here, they're going to show you all the features. It says it's built mobile first. Not only is it mobile optimized, it's going to look very beautiful when your customers gets on your page. It has sales focused features, so it's going to look a lot more cleaner when your customers are browsing through your products. They have easy to find products, so I like how they laid out their menu items here, and so many other things, like they have header widgets, flexible logo, things like that. So I love really the look and feel of the conversion theme. If you come on here, if you get on this page, you can actually watch my entire tutorial. So over here, this is my tutorial. Go ahead and watch it. There's a few other ones if you want to watch them as well. But this is the theme I actually recommend. This is 100% optional, but it's something to really think about once you are starting to make sales on your Shopify store. You definitely want to upgrade to a better theme. So this is the one that I actually recommend. For step number 3 is to integrate with a reliable supplier, because one of the most common questions I always get is, Cynthia, there's literally hundreds of different print-on-demand suppliers out there. How do I know which one to go with? So because at the end of the day, if your customers receives a poor product, they're not going to know that it comes from someone else. They're going to think it's coming from your company, your brand. So you never want to make that bad impression. So it's very important that you pick the best supplier. So I've actually listed a few criteria that I actually go through before I stick with a supplier to help me print my products to send to my customers. So number 1 is obviously good customer service. I don't care what business you're in, you're going to have to deal with customer service. So if they receive something with the printing that's kind of off, or maybe that their package is lost in transit, you want to be able to contact your supplier and get a response maybe within 24 to 48 hours. So that's something that I definitely look for. Another one is I want a reliable supplier with a fast turnaround time. So what I mean by that is, from the time that my customer placed an order in my store, I want that order to be shipped out within a week. My number 1 traffic source does come from the US, so preferably I do want the supplier to be located in the US. There are hundreds and tons of print-on-demand companies that are actually located outside the US. And what I often see is a lot of complaints from my customers saying, there's long shipment times because it's coming from overseas. A lot of times it has to do with customs that's taking a long time. So I definitely did learned a lot from that experience. Therefore, I do not actually use any suppliers that are overseas. So preferably try to find one that is located in the US. But the 2 best one on the market today is Printful and Printify. So I've actually put that up here on the screen if you want to get to this, if you want to check them out. So I have Printful over here. Just go to printful.teebootcamp.com, or you can check out Printify. Just go to printify.teebootcamp.com. I know the name sounds very similar, but I promise you they're 2 different companies. But for the sake of today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to sell using Printful. I love Printful. They are literally the number 1 print-on-demand supplier in the US. Their print quality is always good. I have very low complaints from my customers. They always have a fast turnover time. I've also talked to their team over there. They've been just the most amazing and nicest people out there. So, I've never actually had an issue using Printful, so I definitely highly recommend it. What you want to go and do is head on over to printful.teebootcamp.com, and then you want to go ahead and click Start Selling. You can go ahead and sign up with either Facebook, Google, or Apple, but I like to sign up with my email. So I'm just going to click this red button down here. And all I have to do is enter in my full name, my email, password, click I agree, and then go ahead and click sign up. If you guys have registered for Printful, simply go on over to the sidebar and go ahead and click on store. So the first thing we do want to do is making sure that we connect our Printful account with our Shopify account. That's how they are going to be able to talk to each other. So once you get on here, you want to go ahead and click choose platform. We're going to connect with Shopify. So go ahead and click the connect button and click add app. And then you're going to get this pop-up window where they want you to enter in your myshopify.com URL. So how you're going to get this URL is going back on over to your Shopify dashboard. And then right at the top, you'll see your URL up here. So you want to go ahead and copy everything, which says, coffeeapparel.myshopify.com. This is the only thing that we want. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to go ahead and paste it in and then click login. And after that, you want to scroll all the way down and click install app. And all we have to do is really to click on it. You can actually navigate inside of Printful from Shopify, but since I kind of like the bigger view of this, I can go ahead and click open full site because I want to see the entire page. Back on Printful, under stores, you'll be able to see the Shopify store that we just connected to. So if you did everything correctly, you should see this right underneath the stores under Printful. Now you see the other ones down here. These are just examples that I also did on my channel for other tutorials, but you don't need to worry about that. You only need to worry about the one that you have connected. Before we can actually upload our first product into our Shopify store, we'll actually need a design file because that design will go on different products like t-shirts, mugs, leggings, things like that. So then, which leads me to step number 4 is we need to go out and research for designs. And then once we figure out what designs that we want to get, we need to find a graphics designer to put those designs into reality. So here are a few places that I like to go on. So the number 1 is Fiverr. I like to go on Freelancer, 99 Designs, Upwork. These are 4 of the main places I actually go to find good designers. So I'm going to be talking about that in just a bit. A lot of questions I always get is, well, Cynthia, can I create my own designs? So I never recommend creating your own designs unless you are a graphics designer, only because all of my winning designs that actually end up working are designs created by a real designer. If you're going to create something yourself and it looks very simple and clip arty, those to me will not be able to sell very well. So I never recommend creating your own designs. So right now we're going to be hopping over. I'm going to show you how I actually go out to research my designs, and then I'm going to be hopping over and showing you how to find a graphics designer. My favorite place when I go and research my design is I use Merch Informer. This is literally my number 1 tool in terms of research. So what I like to do, again, as I showed you in the beginning, is I go to product search and I type in my keyword and then I click search. So I can go through and see what type of designs are actually working. So as you can see, there's one for owls and it has over 38 ratings, which is amazing. They have a lot of reviews for this. They have one here about coffee. They have one about coffee and Valentine's Day. So you kind of see, which t-shirt is working very well. And then you want to go out and create something even better. So always just take inspiration, never take or copy someone's work. So you can see, see what's working. This one is okay, but first coffee, how can I take this design and make it even better? Purpose of this tutorial, I had my designer send me a design so I can use it to show you guys for example purposes. So for an example, if I want to use this design with this exact quote, I want to make sure that I'm not actually infringing on a trademark or that it's copyrighted for whatever reason. Sometimes we may be using quotes that we aren't aware that someone has already took it. So what I love to do is before I actually launch any kind of designs is I like to double check that it's not been trademarked. So what I do on Merch Informer is you can go down to trademarks down here. And once you go ahead and click on it, go ahead and click on trademark alerts. And what you can do is you can actually type in the exact quote of your design and they will check to see that no one has copyrighted or owns the rights to that specific quote. So what you can do is you can actually type it in right over here. So in this case, I've already searched for it. So I simply, paste it in just like that. And then I can go ahead and click save. So once you click save, it'll appear down here. So these are all the ones that I actually searched previously. You can actually keep them underneath your trademark section, and down here it's going to say save with a check mark if no one owns the rights to these quotes. And you can actually view more details over here, but I love just double checking all of my quotes. So as you can see down here, this one is safe to use, so we can go ahead and upload and start advertising this specific design. Okay, so now let's talk about how to actually go about getting this design file. So remember, as I said before, unless you are a graphics designer, never go out and try to create your own design. So here are a few websites I actually recommend. The first one is Fiverr. You can go to fiverr.com, sign up for an account, and I just literally typed in t-shirt designer, and they're going to give me tons of different gigs that people are actually offering for this service. So I recommend that you guys actually go through and look through their portfolio, making sure that their design aesthetic matches the one that fits your specific niche and what you're looking for. So there's so many out there. You can go ahead and contact these designers and say, hey, I'm looking for so and so design for, I don't know, the dog niche, and then they're going to tell you, yes, we can do it, or no, we don't have to, we can't do it, things like that. So you can go ahead and contact them. You don't actually have to purchase the gig yet. Just send them a quick message, talk to them a little bit, have them send you some of their work if necessary. The second one that I actually recommend is called Upwork.com. This is also a great place to find amazing designers. So in this case, again, I type in t-shirt designers, and you're going to find tons of people who are offering this service. Now, as you can see, some of these charge per hour, others charge by flat rate. So it depends, what type of budget fits, your needs, things like that. But you can go through and find some designers here as well. Another one is freelancer.com. This is also a great place to find designers. Now, this one is called 99 Designs. I don't really recommend this website for newbies because this is extremely expensive than opposed to going on Fiverr, Upwork, or Freelancer. So I do recommend going on Fiverr or Upwork first before actually going to 99 Designs. After you have received your design from your designer, you can now go on back on over to Printful and upload your first design. So simply go under stores and then find your store, which is over here, and then go ahead and click add product. Once you go ahead and add your products, again, you can browse through their catalog. They have things including men's clothing, like t-shirts, jackets, sweatshirts, bottoms. They even have women's clothing, kids, hats, accessories, home and living. So just basically browse through. There are tons and tons of products to choose from. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to pick a t-shirt design. So I'm going to go with women's clothing, and I'm going to say t-shirts. And I'm going to pick this one over here because they have a lot more color selection. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. After that, you will be redirected to this page where you can go ahead and upload your design and select all the type of colors that you want to offer for your customers. So in this case, I might want to go with a gray t-shirt. So I'm going to select this one. And then you can go ahead and drop your design in here. Once you have uploaded your design, you want to make sure that it looks perfect on the shirt. You can actually make it bigger or smaller, so you can go ahead and drag it around. Just make sure that your design falls inside the print area, as you can see down here, so you can drag it up or down. So I want to drag it just kind of like that. I think it looks good just like this. And once you're done, you just want to go ahead and click proceed to media. Next step, you can actually select different mock-up styles. So they have one for men's mock-up, women's, couples, so on and so forth. So for me, I just like to have the regular t-shirt. So I'm going to pick the wrinkle mock-up. I think this looks good. And I'm going to click proceed to details. And then I can go ahead and give it my product title and enter in a description. So over here, I can just type in coffee smells like freshly grounded heaven. So I can actually enter that in. I can also give it a description, but I'm just going to leave it just like this. And then I'm going to click proceed to pricing. This is the part where you can actually set how much you want to charge per t-shirt. So over here, they're going to show you how much Printful will actually charge you for the t-shirt. This is how much you're going to charge your customer, and they're going to give you how much profit you're going to actually make after the entire cost. So for an example, if I want to charge $24.99 for a t-shirt, after Printful takes their cut, I'm going to make about $12. Okay, again, you can increase the price. You can even charge, $29.99. You're going to make $17. So again, depending on which supplier you go with and which t-shirt you go with, you're going to have different pricing. So not every supplier will have the same t-shirt price, and not every t-shirt, as we just saw, will have the same pricing. So find the one that works for you. So in this case, I'm just going to choose, 24. I'm going to go for $24.99. And then I can go ahead and change out the other ones. Now, as you can see, the price per shirt actually increases as we get up to the 2 extra large, 3 extra large, and 4 extra large. So you can go ahead and also increase your pricing as well. So over here, we could do, $26.99. We could do $27.99. And then down here we can do, $29.99. So it just kind of keeps it much more consistent. So we're going to make the same profit no matter what. So that's something to look at. Again, the 2 extra large all the way down to 4 extra large, you want to go ahead and update the price as the Printful prices increases. So after you are done, you can go ahead and click submit to store. So after Printful has fully synced the product into Shopify, you can come on back on over to products and then go ahead and click on your product. This is your product page where you can go ahead and edit things like your title, your description. You can even add in more photos if you plan on adding more mockups. You can also add in to different collections on your Shopify store, add in different tags. And then down here, you'll see all the different variants. So you have the small, medium, large. This list actually gets longer when you add in more t-shirt colors. Say for example, you change your mind about the price. Maybe you want to increase it or decrease it. You can actually go ahead and edit it right over here, right inside of Shopify. So tons of things you can actually do. Another thing you can do is go under more actions, and then you can go ahead and click preview. And you're going to be able to see what your customers will see once they get on this page, which looks something like this. Let's move on to step number 5, which is marketing or promoting our products on Facebook. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm actually only going to focus on Facebook, but again, you can actually promote it on any kind of social media platform like Instagram or Pinterest. So the first thing you'll actually need is creating the actual ad. So the visual on how actually it looks like. I'm going to show you a step-by-step tutorial in just a bit. So you can actually create one using Photoshop, but if you don't know how to use Photoshop, you can actually go on Placeit and create one for yourself. The next one is you actually need a Facebook fan page. You can watch my previous video where I walk you through how to create a Facebook fan page. And in order to market on Facebook, you actually need a Facebook page. And number 3, you need an ad account. So a business account, you'll need to open one. So I actually created 2 separate videos for this. This will be way too long to fit it in this one video. So I recommend just going back to watch these 2 videos. Guys, go on back on over to my YouTube channel, and then if you click on videos, I highly recommend that you guys watch how to create a Facebook page right over here. This is more the recent ones that I actually did. I also recommend to watch this one, Facebook ads for beginners. In these both videos, I show you how to create and open up a Facebook business account, and then also how to create a Facebook page. So you'll actually need to know how to set these 2 up before you can actually start marketing on Facebook. Again, I fit these 2 literally, as you can see, this one's an hour long. This one's about 47 minutes long. Again, these will be way too long if I try to fit into this video. So I recommend to go back to these 2 videos if you don't already have a Facebook account and if you don't already have a Facebook page. I'm going to show you how I actually create my ad on Placeit. How you can quickly create your Facebook ad. It doesn't have to be, super complicated. I use Placeit and they make this process super easy. So not only do I use Placeit to create all of my logos, I can actually go and create a mock-up on Placeit as well. So if you click on mockups, I'm going to go over and hover over t-shirts, and Placeit will give me tons and tons of models to choose from. If I don't want a model, they're going to give me just a regular t-shirt. All of these, I can just go ahead and upload my design. So when I promote a specific product, I like to make my ad much more presentable and much more aesthetically pleasing. That is how you're going to get a lot of clicks to your website. So I usually scroll through here and find the one that I like. So another trick that I like to do is, instead of browsing through all of the different t-shirts, I like to go ahead and type in, my niche in the search bar. So I actually want to find a model that actually holding a coffee or a coffee mug, because if people love coffee in my niche, they're going to relate to my specific ad. So I always like to pick one here. So any of these will work fine. As you can see, they're all holding a coffee mug, again, like this girl over here and this guy over here. So all of these will work very, very well. This doesn't work for coffee. Say for example, you are in the dog niche, you can also type in dogs up here, and I would find a model like this guy over here sitting next to his dog, and this girl over here. So find something that actually fits in your niche, and Placeit makes it super easy and simple. Simply type in your keyword up here and they're going to recommend some mockups for you. So let's come back here. I'm going to type in coffee, and I'm actually going to find a model for my coffee. Okay, so I like this one over here. So I'm going to select this one as an example. On this page, you can go ahead and upload the design, and Placeit will automatically place it on the model. So I'm going to go ahead and upload my design. Uploaded your design, make sure that it looks perfect on the model. Now, if you guys recall, my t-shirt is actually gray, so you can actually switch out your t-shirt color. So if you want to promote a red one, you can pick the red, blue, whatever color. So mine's actually gray, so I'm going to select a gray color, which looks like this. So if everything looks perfect, I'm going to go ahead and click this download button. The next thing we're going to do is actually create the actual ad. So right now I am on my Facebook fan page. Again, if you don't already have one, I have a tutorial on my channel where you can go back and watch how I create one. But basically, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click create post. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then I'm going to upload my ad. Uploaded my ad, and then now I want to go ahead and add in some text up here. So I can just go ahead and say, do you love coffee? Question mark. And then I'm going to have some sort of call to action. I can just say, get your t-shirt here. And then I want to go ahead and enter in the link for my product. So I'm going to come on back on over to my product page. I'm going to go ahead and copy my link. Now notice the link that I have up here is super long. It goes, coffeeapparel.com product / with this long name. So what I recommend is actually going on over to Shopify. And then if you look under online store, go ahead and click on navigation. And then from navigation, go ahead and click URL redirects. Now once you click on it, you can actually shorten your URL so it looks a lot more presentable, because the one that we actually have is just way too long and it looks really ugly. So I'm going to go ahead and click create URL redirect. Go ahead and paste in the long, ugly URL from my Shopify store down here. And then I'm going to go ahead and shorten it down here. So I'm going to just go ahead and say, coffee. And then I'm going to save redirect. Come on back on over to the URL redirects. As you can see, I have a one redirect here. So anytime I have a link that I want to shorten, I can just simply have my domain name. Now keep in mind, you will not have the myshopify.com when you launch. You're going to have a custom domain. So your custom domain could be like coffeeapparel.com/coffee. But in this case, since I did not get the custom domain because this is an example, I'm just going to go ahead and copy my URL, which looks like this, and then /coffee, and that's it, right? This is the part where we get to change out the different keywords which attaches to a different product. So if you have a second t-shirt, you can say, coffee number 2 or something like that. So this is just a great way to not only shorten your URL, but prevent it to be, this long, ugly URL name over here. So the last thing I want to add into my ad is some sort of scarcity. So I can say, get 50% off today only. You can say use code coffee. And then after you're done, go ahead and click post. Now we have the actual ad over here. So then now we can actually go ahead and create the actual ad in our ads manager account. Right now I am in my ads manager account. Again, I have a full tutorial on how to actually set this up on my channel. So I recommend you go back to watch it if you don't already have a business account. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click create your ad. So I'm gonna go ahead and create my ad, and then I'm gonna go ahead and select an event. So, I like to always go with conversions if I'm selling a physical product. So I'm gonna go click conversions, and then I can add in my campaign name. Now I've already explained how I like to name my campaign, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just gonna say coffee, t-shirt demo. And then I'm going to go ahead and click continue. The first thing we actually want to do is actually select the correct pixel, because if you get a business account, you can actually have multiple pixels, so make sure you are selecting the right one. So I'm going to select this one. Again, in my last video, I show you exactly how you can go out to set it up. Now, the next thing we have to select is the conversion event. So in this case, I'm going to select a purchase event because we want Facebook to optimize our ad for purchase. And then we can scroll all the way down. And then the next thing we want to do is actually select our daily budget, meaning how much money we want to spend every single day with Facebook. So I always start small, $5. I know a lot of people like to start at $10, but I think $5 is completely fine, and it'll give you a ton of data for that one single day. I don't like to set an end date only because I like to manage it from day to day, but you can set one if you want. So let's scroll all the way down. Now we get to select our targeting options from here. Facebook doesn't know that we're selling a coffee t-shirt. Okay. So this is the part where we telling Facebook to go out to find this very specific audience. So the first thing I want to do is I want to target the people located in the US. Now, if you want to target people located in the UK, Australia, Canada, you can go ahead and click edit, and you can add in your locations here. Super easy. You can also edit the age. So if you know a certain age group. So as I mentioned before, if you go to audience insights at the beginning of this video, I showed you that you can actually view your audience range, like who is most into coffee. So if you want to go ahead and edit that, you can go ahead and select it in here. But from my experience, I like to leave it broad because I still want Facebook to let me know who my audience is, who is most likely to purchase my product. Gender, I can go ahead and select men or women, but I'm going to select all. And then over here, we can actually add in our detailed targeting. This is who we want Facebook to show our ads to. So all you have to do is click edit, and then you're going to enter in some of the keywords. Now you can target people based on demographic, interests, or behaviors. So if you click browse down here, if you look at demographics, you can target people based on educations, life events, things like that. You can also target them based on interests. So, coffee. So we look under, food and drink, and we look under beverages. I'm sure we'll be able to find coffee, which is right over here. So we can go ahead and target people that like coffee. We can also target people based on different behaviors. So I haven't had much luck with the behavioral targeting, but you can always test that out. I always uncheck the targeting expansion because I don't want Facebook to expand my targeting unless I really know my data and I'm starting to scale. I don't want to expand any of my targeting when I'm testing a new product. So let's scroll all the way down. So now we're going to select our placement, which means where do you want Facebook to place your ads, hence placements. So I always recommend to go under manual placements. That way you have more control as to where you want your ads to be placed. So in this case, I actually only want to target people on Facebook first. So I'm just going to uncheck everything. And then I only want to show it in the feed. So I make sure to uncheck it in the search. I don't want it in the in stream. I don't want it in the stories. And And then I'm going to uncheck everything because I only want the news feed, because this is going to give you the best data depending on whether or not your product has a chance to become profitable. So I'm going to scroll all the way down, and then we'll go ahead and click next. You want to make sure you select the correct Facebook page, because if you're like me and you're running multiple Facebook pages, you want to make sure that you are selecting the correct one. So in this case, this is the coffee time shop. Now I'm going to come down here, and this is the part where you can go ahead and actually create the ad. So again, you can actually create the ad inside Ads Manager, or in my case, I've created the ad right on my Facebook page, so I don't actually need to do it. I can just simply click this drop down menu and then click use existing post, because we just created that. And then I'm going to click select post, and I'm going to find the one that I just created, which is right over here. So I'm going to click this one, and then I'm going to click continue. And then automatically Facebook will show you a preview on how your ad looks like. So make sure that everything looks good before you submit it. So you can add other things like a call to action button over here. So that's just going to show right down here. So I'm going to go ahead and add my URL. So I'm going to come on back here, copy this from my URL, and then I'm going to go ahead and paste it in. And then I want to make sure that I select the right call to action button. So depending on what you're trying to sell, in this case, since it's a t-shirt, I want to go ahead and find the shop now button and then click update post. In my post, as you can see, they're going to show you your shop now button down here. So if everything looks good, you want to go ahead and click publish. So for step number 6 is automation. So what I love about the print-on-demand business is you can actually outsource a lot of the work to someone else, because I want everyone's main focus to actually be on marketing. Once you get good at marketing, you can literally sell anything in the world. It doesn't actually have to be t-shirts. You can be selling other products. It could be digital products, affiliate products, or even just print-on-demand products. So what I mean by outsourcing is actually going out and finding a virtual assistant, meaning someone that actually works remotely anywhere in the world. So they can help you with things like customer service. They can help you they could be a designer. They could be that person to help you upload your designs every single week. So all of that is tedious work that you want to give it to someone else. And then you focus on getting good at Facebook ads, Pinterest ads, Instagram ads, etc., etc. So this is really how you can really focus on growing your business instead of focusing on answering customer service every single day, finding content for your social media pages, things like that. All of that can be done by someone else. So I'm going to be showing you 2 places that I actually go to find my virtual assistant. I actually recommend is called Upwork, which I showed you previously on how to find a designer, but you can also find people who are looking for virtual assistant jobs. So you can browse through how much they actually charge per hour. You can read some of their reviews. Are they, good or not? Here's another one, $25 an hour. As you can see, they're top rated. So you can actually go and invite them to apply for your job listing, because when you create your job listing, you can write in, this person needs to know how to use Shopify. They need to understand, how to work with customers. They need to know how to create social media content, things like that. So you can go in here and actually find people that you like and that you want to work with. Now, another website I like to go on is called onlinejobs.ph. This is a place where you can find people that charge a lot less. So as you can see down here, once I type in virtual assistant, there's one for copywriter. This one is remote virtual assistant. Here's another one. So basically you want to go ahead and message them and figuring out, are they a right fit? So you have to kind of go through the process of interviewing each and every single one and then finding one that you want to go with. Now, if you found a person that you want to work with, but maybe they're not familiar with Shopify, you can always train them on how to use Shopify. It's super easy to use. So that shouldn't be a deal breaker when you're trying to find the best virtual assistant for your business. Number 7 is to find more traffic sources. So Facebook is a great social media platform. It's the biggest one, but it's not the only game in town. So I do recommend that you guys also try to expand your audience on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, so on and so forth. So there's so many avenues on how you can find your customers. So why do I always say to diversify your traffic sources? Here is a stat that I actually took from Business Insider. Now this one is for Snapchat, but I'm pretty sure that this also applies to so many other social media platforms. But as you can see with Snapchat, the one highlighted in dark blue are exclusive audience, which means these audience highlighted in blue in this chart are not on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, etc. Right? The one in the light blue, this is the part where they have shared audience. So as you can see on Facebook, there are 35% of people that only use Snapchat but do not have a Facebook account. Okay. There are 46% of people that exclusively use Snapchat but are not on Instagram. Okay. So on and so forth. And you can now read the entire stats on here. So if you guys want to seriously scale your business to your audience, you can't just focus on Facebook, because as you can see from the stats, there are a big percentage of people that solely use Snapchat, that solely use Instagram, that only use Pinterest, right? Because different people are on different platforms. You can't expect every person in the world to be on Facebook. That's just not realistic. So that's why I always say, Facebook is a great starting point for beginners, but once you get to the point where you're starting to scale your business, start to look at how to advertise on Instagram, how to advertise on YouTube, etc. So coming back on over to my YouTube channel, I recommend that you guys watch my Instagram and my Pinterest ads tutorial where I take you step by step on how to create them. So this is a great way to expand your audience beyond Facebook. Wrap up this video. I know I touched on a lot of different things, but I promise you guys that although it seems overwhelming in the beginning, once you guys get started and you get familiar with how to use Shopify, how to use Facebook, things like that, the process will become a lot easier. For me, it's very much a lifestyle business. When you start to hire out and outsource your task to someone else and you only focus on marketing, I really only spend, about 30 minutes of my time kind of scaling my ads and things like that. Again, all of the links that you'll need to know on how to create your own print-on-demand business will be up here on the screen, and I'll also link them down below so you can get to these places as easy as possible. That's it for today's video. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below this video. Also, I have a free Facebook group if you want to join and chat with other entrepreneurs like yourself. I'll have the link down below this video. And until next time, I will see you guys in my next video. Live free.